Hey guys, it's Jessii V. Today I'm wearing a Sailor Moon shirt because I love Sailor Moon. Do you like it? Because I like it. Today's V time is about the time my bus caught on fire. And I know that sounds crazy, but you guys should know by now that my life is crazy. So before I get into this awesome story, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm planning on doing a Q&A video probably at the end of this week. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer, you could just put them in the comments below and it might be in my video. Or, I mean, you could tweet me questions. Any form of social media that you want to put your questions on, that's cool. But yeah, I should post a Q&A video at the end of this week. So have all of your questions in the comments and stuff before Thursday. Okay, so now that we got that covered, time for the V time. It is raining so hard out right now. So if you start hearing like noises and stuff, it's the rain. I'm sorry. Why are you crying, Clouds? Why are you crying? Okay, so this V time takes place when I was in grade 3. For some reason, I had this irrational fear of buses. You should have seen me the first day of school. I made my dad follow my bus in his car. Yeah, I was that weird. I just did not feel safe unless my dad was driving behind the bus. I don't know. If for some reason my dad's car and the bus got separated on the road, I'd go up to the bus driver and say, can you slow down a bit? My dad is trying to keep up with us. I'm sure this bus driver thought I was off my rocker because he always replied with, yeah, sure kid, sit down before you hurt yourself. Eventually, after a week of my dad following the bus, he said it was time for me to do it on my own. And this terrified me. I was like, you mean I have to take this 15-minute bus ride on my own like the other kids? How could you torture me like this? I thought you loved me. I think it was just something about being stuck in a moving box with 40 kids. It just didn't sound appealing or enjoyable. In fact, I used to have nightmares about buses. I'd wake up screaming in the middle of the night and my mom would be like, what's wrong, Jessii? What did you dream about? And I'd be like, there was a bus and it tried to kill me. But anyways, let's get back to the story. My dad said that I had to ride the bus on my own. He could no longer follow the bus like a complete creep. Because I mean, Dad, it was the sweetest thing for you to do, but to all the children on the bus, you probably looked really scary. So I refused to get on the bus by myself. I would not get on that bus without a fight. I was ready to moon prism power anybody that got near me. So my dad had to call the school to find out how they could convince me to ride the bus. They came up with this idea. They wanted to give me a bus buddy. This bus buddy would escort me to the bus every single day and would sit with me on the bus as well, so I would never have to be alone. They partnered me up with this boy named Zach, who was my age. But you know when you're little and you just think that boys are so gross? Yeah, I was like, ew, no, I don't want a boy. Get him away. But everybody just convinced me to give him a chance, so I did. Because I was a sweet child. Eventually the bus just wasn't so bad anymore. And I gained a little crush on him. I started wanting to hold his hand every time we went on the bus. And he wasn't too fond of that idea. I'd be like, hold my hand. No, hold my hand, please. No, please hold my hand. I don't want to. So the day my bus caught on fire was a day that Zach was homesick. I mean, of course that would happen, right? So I had to be brave and ride the bus on my own. I got on the bus and sat beside this kid who was a little younger than me. He didn't seem very happy that I was sitting beside him. You know when someone just gives you that look? Like, you don't own the seat, bud. I can sit where I want. Do not look at me like that. Back it up, buddy. So anyways, we're on the bus for about 10 minutes when I start to smell smoke. At first it's very subtle, so I expect it's just something outside the window. But then I look up at the bus driver and smoke is starting to protrude from the front of the bus. And get this, the bus driver goes, uh-oh. He says, uh-oh. So he immediately pulls over to the side of the road and tells everybody to get off the bus. And we had done practice bus fire drills in school before, but no one ever thinks it's actually gonna happen, right? So a bunch of kids are running out of the back of the bus, some are running out of the front of the bus. It was quite disorganized. We all look like a pack of hyenas running from lions. Mufasa was chasing us. Have you guys heard of that joke before? Simba was walking too slow, so I told him to Mufasa. Get it? Like move faster. Mufasa. Yeah, you didn't laugh. I know you didn't laugh. Jess, you're not funny. Anyway, so because I sit near the front of the bus, I figure the quickest way for me to get off is through the front doors. I begin to run for it when I look behind me, and the boy that was sitting beside me was trying to crawl out the window. Like, dude, you think I could fit in there? You will not make it out that window alive. He was way too big to wander outside such a small rectangle. So, as you guys could imagine, he got stuck in that window. And at this point, small sparks of fire begin evolving at the front of the bus. The fire is beginning. That was the biggest sound of thunder I have ever heard. I am so scared right now. I usually like storms, but not when the thunder is yelling at me when I'm trying to do a V-time. Thunder, come back later. So this bus was starting to burn while this kid was stuck in the window. So I decided I kind of gotta help this kid. So I grabbed his legs and pulled as hard as I could until he flew back into the bus. We were then able to run to safety. That's right, I was Superwoman in that brief amount of time. By the way, where was the bus driver in all of this? He was all, everybody off the bus, but let me off first, okay? Like, no, you're supposed to stay behind and help the kids. Like, he was actually the first one off the bus. So here we are, all standing on the side of the road, watching our bus catch on fire. Eventually it was so covered in flames that the windows started shattering and pieces of the bus were falling off onto the pavement. What is this? What am I doing with my hand? I remember turning to the kids standing next to me and saying, this is why I hate buses. I told you guys, no one listens to me. So eventually the fire department came and put out the fire, but I mean the bus was done for. It was a pile of rubble. My aunt worked really close to where we were taking safety, so she was able to pick me up and bring me home. I got home and I went up to my parents like, see, this is what happens when you make me ride the bus alone. This is what buses do to children. Do you feel like bad parents now? Huh? The bus burned. Burn, bus, burn. Anyways, that is my V-time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to put a question in the comments below. My Twitter, my Instagram, my Snapchat, and my Facebook page is in the description, along with my vlog channel, which I post a few times a week. So you guys have a great day, and until next time, guys, bye.